This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for November 6, 2024. It's currently October 8, 2024, 6:59 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading, $573.17 at the USD. The shuffle video for the November 6 reading was created on October 3rd, 2024 at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time. In this video, we're going to go over the overall trend direction for the day. We're going to talk about the chart behavior around the day's highest high and the chart behavior around the day's lowest low, as well as the general timing down to roughly about an hour as far as where they are throughout the day. And then we're going to get into where the best trades are and the chart behavior by the hour, basically. You have to give it plus or minus an hour here or there of wiggle room, and not in all readings, in a few readings here or there. But always pay attention to the sequence of events, because that will keep you on track if we are plus or minus a little bit here or there on the timing. So the overall theme and behavior for the day, the prince of discs is usually sideways rotational on key support. Sometimes it becomes more in a direction. It's hard to say, but often it's a lot of sideways rotational on key support. In the case of the theme card in a one-day reading, we key support on a one-day chart. Behavior around the highest high, we have an important technical price level highlighted. It's important on the scale of at least a 1 month scale. And then behavior around the lowest low, we have a U-shaped dip that forms near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. So usually you have two peaks in between a trough, with the trough being the low. And I'm advised to trade around a fast sudden move higher standing out on a one-day chart. You could have used the star card to open up a short position if you wanted, because the queen of discs does indicate that we'll likely see like a revisiting of a support level that was an opportunity. So that unexpected move into a key technical price level on a 1 month chart scale, I would use that technical price level and that move into it as an opportunity to open up a short. And then if we open lower, you could close it at this key support level on a 1 month scale, or you can add to it when we have this rally out of the low. If we open higher, and I'm wrong about the lower open, if we open higher, then I would say add to the short and close the short when we hit this low here around 10 o'clock. And that'll get you out probably even. If we're lower, then you'll get a profit. If we're higher, then it'll get you out even, most likely. But we open lower there in the pre-market. There's three crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level in the pre-market. Usually that'll confirm a bullish trend with the third cross to the upside. Right around the open, there is an important support level highlighted on a 1 month chart scale. There's a low there in that first half hour. It might be that we go from a low along support, rallying pretty notably, and then we fall back into a low or a lower low even around 10 o'clock. Hard to say if it's two lows or one, but out of that low, there'll probably be somebody speaking around that time. That low, we should have a big move out of oversold territory on a one-day chart scale, taking us into a big move out of it, probably starting around 10 o'clock and taking us into a crest with some erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. That crest taking place somewhere between 11 and 12. We then have likely a high for the day between 12 and 1, or between 11 and 12, somewhere between 11 and 1, let's say, probably closer to 12. And it'll come from a failed attempt to break through key resistance, and then a decline, like the failed attempt will be the high, and then we'll decline through key support into another low there between roughly 1 and 2, probably closer to 1. Not quite as low as the earlier low is my sense. And then out of that low, we have a prominent move higher through key resistance. We stay above it briefly and then break back down through it shortly thereafter with the full retracement. A lot of price change covered in that 2 to 3 o'clock hour around an important support level on a multi-day scale. A lot of price change, and it looks like it's to the upside. So we probably have some sideways rotation, and then, out of the low sideways rotation, and then before 3 o'clock, big move to the upside into a peak in the last hour that'll stand out on a one-day chart scale, from which we decline pretty notably. And there's an important trough at the close. What's also important to point out is that this Ace of Wands is probably the Ace of Wands cross-reading congruency we have for the 7th. So on the sequence of events, the timing is probably, we're a little bit earlier. We're seeing this Ace of Wands opportunity taking place on the 6th here in the morning. All right, so what you could do is you could open up a short in the midst of this rally out of key support, and then close a short once we turn around and we go into a low for the day thus far around 10 o'clock. If you miss that opportunity to close out of the short, there's a big move to the upside and then erratic behavior back and forth to the same price level. You might consider adding to the short there when we revisit the high, and then you'll want to close out of the short before this big move when we do this back into lows somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock. I would say if we revisit the low there around 1 o'clock, exit there. If we don't, then I would say there's some sideways rotation and a low somewhere there before 2:30, but don't wait for this. Be careful. You don't want to stay in that short, because we're gonna have this big move to the upside that'll stand out just before 3 o'clock. So you want to exit that short at the latest by that Ace of Discs. Really try to get out of it as soon as you can. They're called short for a reason, my friends. And that's SPY for November 6, 2024. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.